What is up everyone, and welcome to another pretty cool video about a PC, but this time around it's not a free PC. This is my girlfriend's desktop PC and she will be having it back once I'm done, but at this current moment in time it does not work for whatever reason. Apparently it doesn't power up or whatever. It hasn't worked for a few years from what I can gather. It's quite an old machine. So I thought it would be really nice to get it up and running. She hasn't specifically asked me to take a look at it or anything like that, but I wanted to anyway, because it's quite an interesting little system, and in this video I want to try and power it up to see if we can power it up. If it is broken, I will try and fix it in a future video. Probably this will just be an overview video, because it's quite a cool little system. But without further ado, let's take a look at this system a little bit more closely. So everyone, here's the front of the system. I do believe it is meant to be stood up, but you can lie it down like I had it in the first part of the video, because there is feet on the bottom in order for you to lie it down, but it does look better standing up. This is the front. As you guys can see, HP logo at the top, multi-card reader, USB port, headphone jack, and then we have two optical drive bays. Whether this one can be used as an optical drive bay, I kind of doubt it because of the limited space inside. There's probably a hard drive behind there inside, but we'll soon find out in a minute. This is the optical drive and it uses a full 5¼ inch optical drive. This has been stored for a very long time, guys, so of course it's a little bit grubby. I believe it's been stored for 2 or 3 years at least. So it's got a normal eject button there, and then down the bottom here, as you can see, there's a Windows XP sticker, a power on and off sticker, or actually, hang on a sec guys, sorry, that's a Windows Vista sticker. Ah, interesting. I thought it was XP, but no, it's Vista. That's pretty cool. There's the power on off button, and obviously the Intel Celeron sticker. If we flip it around to the back, this is where stuff gets really exciting, because it looks like a normal mini-ITX system. Here we have a small PSU at the top with a kettle input, of course, PS2 keyboard and mouse, S-video, composite video, digital audio out in coaxial form, VGA, 4 USB ports, Firewire 400, Ethernet, and analog audio, as well as a small low profile PCI slot. And of course we have some cooling here. Now what's really cool about the back of this is it does look like a standard mini-ITX layout, so I'm really hoping that it's a standard mini-ITX system. If that's the case, then it's probably, I can probably get it going even if the power supply is gone. I can probably get it going with a different power supply. What's weird is, oh actually no, I was just about to say it looks as if there's a missing screw, but there's not. There's actually something else in there. I don't quite know what's going on there. But I'm going to get a new angle and we're going to pop the lid because I'm desperate to see what it looks like inside. Alright guys, so it should just be a case of removing these two screws and then we should have access. It's pretty cool to have possibly a standard, I was going to say ATX standard, but it's not. It's going to be mini-ITX standard, hopefully. It's quite cool to see a OEM machine with a standardized small form factor. Although this machine is quite old, but it should still be a little bit interesting to look at. Now I'm hoping that the side is just going to slide, but looking more closely at it, we may have to do something else in order to get... Oh, okay, the whole thing comes off, so I've got to undo this screw. That is one piece curling around the bottom. That makes sense, guys. That definitely makes sense, because that would then give you space to put in your low profile graphics card or whatever you're going to put in here. And this is a Celeron, but I'm dying to see if the if there's an actual CPU socket, whether it can be upgraded or whatever. I'm really desperate to see that. I'm actually quite interested in this system, guys. So this is the PCI bit. Not sure if you have to take this off in order to pop the casing off, but that should be pretty much it, unless, yeah, that is a different section. The casing should now pop off, I reckon, guys. Right, it makes sense. You have to remove the little PCI bracket, and the actual blanking plate has fallen into the system. Not to worry, we'll get that back now. But this just slides off, like so. And wow, there we have it. Of course, it's going to be a little grubby. Wow. Okay, this is interesting, guys. This is indeed pretty interesting. So what I'm going to now try and do is if I undo this screw, we should have one of those scenarios where the... Oh, okay, that just lifts off of there. And yeah, look at this, guys. This is not as standard as I thought it was going to be. Ah, that's a shame. That is a big shame. This fan cable is going directly... Oh, actually, hang on a sec. It could be... Oh, I thought that was going straight into the PSU. It's actually connected to the board. That's the CPU fan sitting on there. Very, very dirty. Very dirty in here. Let's see if we can somehow figure out how to lift the optical drive assembly. That could be the release tab, guys. That could indeed be the release tab, but I'm not too sure. The PCI slot is standard PCI, so no low profile PCIe cards going in there, but that's okay. There is some way that this all lifts up. Whether you have to undo this screw, I don't know, but we will soon find out. Ah, okay, so, wow, okay. This is the hard drive then, guys, SATA drive. Unplug it from there, that's cool. You can just slide it out. If you can move those cables out the way. Wow. That's quite a tight squeeze, isn't it? They'll have to go down there for this to come out. Here we go, there's the drive. It's a Seagate drive. Let's have a look at the capacity. It is 160 gigabytes, Barracuda 7200.9 RPM. Seagate SATA drive, and it spewed out a load of dust with it. I think what I'm going to do, guys, is take this outside and spray it out with a can of air, just because it's getting dust all over the place here, and it's yeah, I think I'm going to spray it out. It'll be much better. So guys, after giving this a really quick brush down with a paintbrush and also giving it a spray with some air, we are looking much more dust free. Not perfect, but you know, then again, what is? So what I've decided to do, before I strip down the machine any further, I've decided to reconnect the fan and try and power up the machine with the hard drive and stuff. Which way was it? Yeah, it was that way. Just to see what it does, because even though I was told that the machine does not power up, one person's meaning of does not power up doesn't necessarily mean what my meaning of does not power up means. Now, to me, if a system does not power up, that means the system does not do a single thing when you press the power button. But often to people, it can mean that... How the hell does this clip on then, guys? This must have some way of clipping on. There we go. That must be it. Often it can mean to people, you know, there's just a problem loading Windows or whatever. So, of course, that's not what we mean. Let's get the hard drive reconnected, because I've also given it a bit of a dust under here and everything like that. Now, my current thinking, guys, is that... Hang on a sec, which way does this go in? Does this go in upside down? I believe it's a little bit like an MDD, is it? I can't remember which way it came out now, guys. I am terrible at this kind of thing. Anyway, there we go. Yeah, it's just like an MDD. Pretty cool. There we go. My current thinking is I'm going to see if this works. If it doesn't, then I'm going to price up PSUs and stuff. If I know it's a PSU, I'll try it with a PSU first, another PSU, if it's the same size. If it works, then I'll see how it behaves, get rid of Horrible Vista, get Windows 7 on here, and then see if there's any room for RAM upgrades or whatever. I'm going to rip that horrible orange sticker off the front, because that just makes everything look crap. And I will take every part of this computer out and give it a thorough clean, because it's very dusty in here. I've only given it a quick dusting. But yes, before we think too much of future plans and future videos involving this computer, because I've probably got it for as long as I want, let's plug it into a power source and see if it powers on. There we go. The power source is in. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so like I was saying, one person's idea of doesn't power on is different to my idea of doesn't power on. Even the CD drive opens. Awesome. So you know what that means, don't you guys? It's time to replace the case, the top cover of the case, and attempt to connect this to a keyboard, monitor and mouse to have a look at the specs, see what it does. yes, I'm now very intrigued, which is great. I'm quite happy with this. Let's replace the PCI slot cover. That's one thing, I'm still a little confused about how this PCI slot cover works. It goes like that. Okay. I should be able to slot that in after the case is on, to be honest, because it's just sitting there quite awkwardly. I don't even know how this goes on. Is it like that? Do you know what, guys? I really hate these things. I absolutely hate these things. Oh, it's like that. There we go, okay. I'll just try and attach this now. I don't even know if you can see this in frame. Yeah, you can. Luckily, I'm doing this video in quite a wide shot to give myself a lot of breathing room in the frame. But let's reconnect this. This is my only gripe with these kind of systems, is the stupid PCIe mounting, or the PCI mounting. Bit of a shame it's not PCIe. It would have been really cool to get a PCIe card in here, but you can get some pretty decent PCI cards. And it's definitely something that will match the celery stick in this system, so we don't have to worry too much there. There is the top cover replaced. Went on a lot easier than it came off. That may be the first time it's ever been off, to be honest, guys. Now, if this system is decent, it's a little bit old, so it may be a bit slow on the CPU front, but I did notice there was clips on the CPU heatsink. I do believe you can remove the CPU, so that may be interesting in the future. But anyway, guys, I'm going to get a keyboard, monitor, mouse, etc, and we're going to power this guy on. Well, guys, a nice neat and tidy setup. We've got a HP keyboard, which is of a similar era to this, that I got with a different machine. And we have this wonderful USB ball mouse with the world's shortest cable. So, let's turn the thing on and go. We'll see what it does. The fan is not the quietest, but that's at full speed. HP splash screen, awesome. Same splash screen as the old Windows Vista HP family machine that we had. Start Windows. Now, I assume this is not going to start Windows correctly for whatever reason, considering that this computer is not meant to be working. But we will soon see. As you can see, it's loading Vista, Microsoft Corporation, all that jazz. Better not jab any keys while it's loading. When I have this keyboard out, I always feel the need to jab the keys. I wish my Apple keyboard felt as nice as this one. Somebody commented that this is definitely a rubber dome keyboard, but it is the nicest rubber dome keyboard I have ever typed on. Ah, okay. What do we do? Okay, I thought it was stuck in a restart loop there. Fantastic. We are booted. There it is. It is working. Hallelujah. There's a password, naturally. Ah, interesting. Okay, guys, I'm going to... What am I going to do? Well, guys, I just phoned Jess to ask, what did she want me to do? Did she want me to... Hang on a go. Oh, apologies. Sneezing all the time lately. Did she want me to just give it back to her like that and say, yo, it's working, and she could log on and whatnot? Or did she want me to install Windows 7? So I've got Windows 7 here. I said that will involve erasing the hard drive to install it the way I want to install it, and she was like, yeah, cool. Install Windows 7. So I'm going to install Windows 7 in this video, guys. Why not? It'll be a bit of fun. So this PC may actually run okay with Windows 7, which is cool. What are we doing? Escape is boot menu, but it should spin the disk. Now, if the optical drive has a fit and decides not to work, then we'll install Windows 7 in a future video, just because of various time constraints that I have. But at the moment, it really doesn't sound like it's spinning the disk. Maybe it just takes a while, so... Yeah, so we're going to give this a fresh install. I did ask her what about files and stuff that she may want, and she was like, no, stuff it. So I was like, fair enough. So here we are. It says, okay, so it looks like the hard drive is first. So if we select the CD-ROM, the DVD drive, there we go, it'll spin it up now. Perfect. Oh, and expect a flood of comments saying, Tom, where did you get you? Ah, interesting. Okay, it may not... What's it going to boot into if I do that? It's going to boot into the drive. May have to disconnect the hard drive in order to, yeah, or jump into the BIOS and reorder the boot devices. We'll see. Might make my life a little bit easier. Okay, here we go. Right then. Oh. Save configuring. No. It looks like the first boot drive is. Oh wait, hang on a second. Oh, this is. Oh bloody hell! Hang on, it's really hard to navigate this BIOS, guys. Okay, item specific. Save and exit. Setup default. First drive capacity 0, not supported. Okay, so it doesn't actually let you. Tell you what, F5. That is the default. It's got 1 gig of RAM then, guys. Cool, 1 gig of RAM. It knows the date, which is cool. It roughly knows the time, which is always promising. 1.7 gigahertz Celeron, brilliant. It's not going to do a lot, is it? Alright, save and exit, yes. Looks like we may be having an issue with booting from the disk. So guys, I can't get it to boot up from this disk. We're going to call it a day. Expect more videos on this machine when I figure out what to do. I'll probably make a bootable Windows 7 drive or change the optical drive or something. When I say drive, I mean USB drive. But yeah, we'll figure something out. Hope you guys have enjoyed this little video showing off this PC. It's quite nice. It's mini-ITX. It's a cool little system. Gig of RAM. Pretty pleased with it. Hopefully I can stick a faster CPU in. We'll see what we can do in the future. But as always, everyone, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in tomorrow's video.